And also families of a police officer and others shot dead by armed robbers on Monday demand justice as the Inspector General of Police commiserates with them. The IGP has also been meeting with the Bankers Association, who will be bringing you details of that meeting shortly. Well, NEWSLINE is always brought to you by Delta Paper, producers of floral disposable tissue. NEWSLINE will be right back.
Blood gives life. Blood is very important. Let's donate blood to save lives. On Saturday, June 19th, 2021, Metro TV, Original TV, and Original FM humbly invite you to be part of blood donation exercise at the premises of Metro TV, close to Alisa Hotel on Dr. Isert Street at North Ridge in Accra. The exercise will start at 7 o'clock in the morning. It is in commemoration of the World Blood Donation Day. Join us save lives as we donate blood for the blood bank. This exercise is in partnership with Blue Skies, Pharma Nova, manufacturers of 3 First Serum, #1 builder of blood cells.
There's a place for people like you.
Now, welcome back to the news program. We now take a first story where the Inspector General of Police, James Opon Bueno, has assured the family of late General Constable Emmanuel Say, who was shot by armed robbers at Jamestown, of arresting the perpetrators of the crime. The IGP also denied the general impression that the security services is out of touch with the realities when it comes to fighting crime. He spoke to journalists after he led a team of senior officers from the service to commensurate with the family at Millennium City in the Gomwa East District.
If you recall, yesterday we issued a statement, and before that I had instructed the Commissioner CID to take over the case because of the importance we attach to it. So he has started, and I'm sure, as I indicated, we will definitely get them. Whoever says that we are out of touch with the system or with the society is not studying the topography of the West African sub-region as of now. Anybody or any security analysis worth the salt will know that the West African sub-region is currently experiencing a high wave of crime in all the countries. If you compare all the countries, there's a high wave of crime. It doesn't mean that we should fold our arms and say that we'll not do anything.
If I am crying for my son alone, it won't be fair. I'm a Catholic. That's our faith. The policeman, they should be well protected. They are not protected at all. They are not protected at all. The policeman, or especially Ghanaian policeman, is left ajar. So whatever they are carrying out their own operation, I'm a mature person. I know what I'm saying. They do it comme ci, comme ça. Because when something happens, they are not protected. So they should sit down and plan and make sure that those junior ones who go out are well protected. If they were to be protected, I'm not sure this Peugeot car or whatever it is, they will put a policeman in it and he will go and die.
Before the call came that he's no more.
It was when he came here on Friday, last Friday. He told me that he was packing his things to his new abode. So I asked the mother to go for a taxi for him. So after we have packed the things from here, I asked him, when is he coming to take me this weekend?
Very devastating to the family. See, this is a young man who has devoted his life to the cause of national duty, to a call to national duty. And for him just to run into losing his life like that is a terrible loss for the family. In fact, as we speak now, you can see from your interview, the father, the mother, the sister, they are all terribly devastated. So, well, but we want to trust that the security system can take care of this. All that we are asking for, all that the family is asking for is justice to be done.
GMPC has confirmed that his wife was shot by an unknown assailants over the weekend. Benedicta Abenapokia died of gunshot wounds at the Kumfanochi Teaching Hospital few hours after the assailants opened fire on her whilst in convoy with her husband at a spot close to the airport roundabout in Kumasi.
Though information on the incident is scanty, reports indicate the couple who were returning from an outing had survived a similar incident on the same night. Speaking to the media about the incident for the first time, husband of the deceased, Nana Ajiman Prempe, indicated that the assailants crisscrossed his wife's vehicle before shooting her. He said the assailant first crossed his wife's vehicle at a spot close to the airport runabout before the shooting incident. According to him, he had earlier called the police to an accident scene at a location he wouldn't disclose after a driver rammed a vehicle into the passenger side of his vehicle. Shortly after this, the wife was shot dead.
The Inspector General of Police, James Opombwenu, has been meeting with the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, executives of the Ghana Association of Bankers, and the managing directors of banks in Ghana to discuss further solutions to minimize the risks associated with moving cash in the country following that bullion van robbery on Monday. I've now been joined by security analyst Adam Bona and to speak to us or to help us make some sense of this call by the IGP. Good evening, Mr. Adams Bona. Thank you very much for joining us on NEWSLINE.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Right. Now, the police is asking for banks to use bulletproof cars to do their money transfers. Will that be enough to more or less safeguard the operations of these banks and the security personnel that move with them?
I didn't quite get you. It looks like there's a lot of noise. I didn't hear you.
Right. I was asking you that the police are asking that banks use bulletproof cars to do their money transfers, and I want to find out from you whether that would be enough to safeguard the operations of these banks and indeed the personnel that move these bullion vans.
Oh yes, in a way, it will safeguard the human beings who are in this cash and transit. We call them fit for purpose vans or trucks, and also the assets in terms of the cash they are carrying. So yes, if you ask, I would say yes. That is how it's supposed to be. If they are able to do it. In other places, you don't have police officers escorting this money, or whatever would be in these bullion vans, because is that the serial number of this money is used in printing more money, printing money for the bank that probably had that particular situation. So you don't have any inflation or more money getting into the system. You only replace and you pay for the cost of printing. And that's it. And so I want to see a situation where we move towards that point, because then in modern policing, officers are not supposed to be escorting money. Their work is supposed to protect citizens. That is their prime, what you call it, ultimate work given them to do, and not escorting money.
Right. Right. That's interesting. Now, how about the security personnel themselves? I mean, what kind of special attention should we be paying to their safety needs?
Well, so for instance, this officer, they unfortunately lost his life. We just finished police, training in terms of recruitment training, and he was deployed. He actually didn't finish the mandatory, probation period of usually about 2 years, and he was deployed. So you deploy an inexperienced person, you don't give him nobody. What it is that any eventuality or in any situation, he finds himself in an emergency, chances are that he would suffer irreparable consequences. And I'm sure we are all aware of what happened to him. So, yeah, that's what I can say. As far as I'm concerned, a lot more to go into the training of these officers, a lot more resources to go into them, and they need to be motivated. Motivation of these officers is very, very important.
Right. Now, how about I don't know whether there's any lessons for individuals who carry huge sums of money around due to the nature of their business. Any precautionary measures for them?
Well, I say there should not be the need to carry huge sums of money in this day and age. If you can, please divest those who are watching us. And because you have more money, we have other modes of payments. People, you can do direct, you can do bank transfers. You don't have to. But if there is a need for you to do that, you have to look for better protection, because in the past the police will say, come to us, and we are going to help you. Now that the police themselves are coming under attack, it means that citizens should try to move away from holding large cash. Use electronic means of paying people you owe. When you do that, chances are that they will leave to see tomorrow. And if you want to hold money, you want to be citizens say some young people are now showing a lot of money on social media. And social media cannot identify whether the money is fake or it is real. Once it looks like money, criminals see you for money. They will come and attack you and take your life. You know the difference with this. Involving the GLTC, one guy like that, some money. They were supposed to yesterday in front of him. I don't know why, but maybe because he sold a lot of money on the internet, was it true or it was not? It was fake currency. But these are things that I want to see us not doing as citizens.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Adams, for talking to us on NEWSLINE. It's always a pleasure talking to you. NEWSLINE takes a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. President Akufo-Addo says his government is empowering local scientists to manufacture vaccines in the country in the wake of global shortage of COVID-19 vaccines, emphasizing the need to depart from aid to becoming self-reliant, particularly in the wake of a global pandemic. The president called on other African countries to look within for development. He spoke at a special dialogue on Ghana at the Jubilee House on Tuesday.
We believe that the industry, that Ghana has a serious comparative advantage in being a hub for pharmaceutical production in West Africa and in Africa. We intend to leverage as much energy as possible in making that a reality. Several obvious areas. It isn't just in pharmaceutical and health products that we're dependent on from virtually all aspects of our economic life. It's heavily import dependent. The existence of the African Continental Free Trade Area allows us the opportunity to reduce significantly that import dependence, because then we now have this large market. There are many of us Africans who don't also know some of the basic facts about our future. By 2050, 1 in 4 people on the globe will be an African. We'll have a population of some 2.5 billion people. A quarter of the world's working age population will be African. These are potentially dramatic data that should guide our development. And we have the opportunity, within the context of this arrangement, it's taken a long time in coming, but suddenly, in the last 4 or 5 years, the political leaders on the continent have found the political will to bring the free trade area into being.
Government is seeking to mobilize 70 billion cedis from private investors to shore up its ambitious 100 billion Ghana Cares Obatampa program. At the launch of the Ghana Financing Roadmap for the achievements of the 2030 UN Sustainable Development Goals at the Jubilee House on Tuesday, President Akufo-Addo stressed that the involvement of private sector players is key to building an inclusive and resilient economy.
Absolutely determined to enhance our partnership with the private sector, to unlock innovative and sustainable financing to bridge the SDGs financing gap, which has been identified in our country financing program that we'll be launching shortly. Against the background of the huge financing gap, perhaps more than ever, we need a stronger, mutually beneficial partnership with the private sector. This is because it is you in the private sector who generate the wealth which provides the means for our economic and social investments. It is because we know that the private sector is at the frontier of the innovation that we so crucially need to accelerate progress in the implementation of the SDGs. Ladies and gentlemen, inherent in the vigorous partnership that we seek with the private sector and the huge business opportunities that the SDGs present for the private sector, our country financing roadmap estimates a financing gap of some 450 billion United States dollars over the next decade to 2030. But far from being a financing gap, I personally see this as a 450 billion US dollar business and investment opportunity for the private sector. So I extend an invitation to the private sector, domestic and foreign, to take full advantage of the great SDGs-related business opportunities that presently exist in the country in the areas of infrastructural development, agriculture, industry, energy, health, communication, education, and water and sanitation. Ghana is a prime, ripe destination for doing business. We are ranked as the most stable political environment in West Africa and the best place to do business in the region.
The German ambassador to Ghana, Christoph Retzlaff, and the British High Commissioner Ian Walker have ended their tour of duty. At the Jubilee House on Tuesday, they commended President Akufo-Addo for his government's fight against COVID-19, among other policy measures to revive the Ghanaian economy. We apologize for that technical hitch. Now, it has become one of the most beautiful communities in the Tema West municipality, yet The residents of Celebrity Hill have never paid property rates to government because the beautifully planned residential area is being occupied illegally. Metro News' Samuel Asamoah has been speaking to some of the residents who are calling on government to legalize their settlement so as to generate revenue.
Over the years, this particular Ramsey site in the Tema West municipality has seen lots of encroachment. There have been major infrastructural setups with an ongoing reclamation of the lagoon within the Ramsey site by some estate developers. The Celebrity Hills community, located within the Ramsey site, is currently a complete community with good roads and other amenities put up by the residents. The residents here are now calling on government to consider them legal residents.
When I've started my project, I have an invoice from TWMA. Later on, when we wanted to pay, they said we should hold on with payment. We have to resolve issues with other stakeholders. You understand? So that's the challenge. So we feel government is equally losing a lot of money because a lot of properties are here. If they are in, we should be able to generate more revenue to do a lot of things. But they are not forthcoming. We want to pay because we've approached them on a lot of occasions that we are willing to pay, but they are not forthcoming.
We are just pleading with the authorities, we are pleading with the Forestry Commission, the TWMA, the government to look at these issues, our concerns, and then come to the round table, which we've always been asking for, to create a buffer. We, the residents, are even ready to plant danger trees or poles to identify the end of the hardcore areas so that nobody goes beyond that. So we are just pleading with them to come to our aid, and then we resolve this issue once and for all.
Kwesi Pokubusumpem is the assemblyman for the area.
We are pleading with central government to come here and hold the bull by the horn. Tell us what we want to do. Laws are made for human beings. Laws can be reversed. There was a criminal liability law once upon a time. It was repealed. We have over 3,000 properties here. Are we ready to put 3,000 properties down? That's the question. Do we have that kind of political will to do that? But those that are on the waterways and the areas that will create problem, for that one, as assembly member, I'm for it. I'm pleading to central government, the regional minister, the showman, so at least let us all start joining. Let's start talking. Let's start know what we can do to bring sanity to this place.
As part of a nationwide tree planting exercise, the residents have also started planting trees in the area to make up for the lost vegetative cover.
The Minister for Health, Kweku Ajimamenu, has justified the government's procurement of Sputnik V vaccines, despite concerns about the cost involved. Government has come under pressure following its decision to use intermediaries to secure over 3 million of Sputnik V vaccines at a cost of $19 instead of $10 on the international market. According to him, Ghana had no choice but to put the lives of Ghanaians first in signing the agreement. Take a listen.
Can be subjected to ridicule. Basic economics, right, has two parameters to decide on pricing: demand and supply. At the time that we signed this agreement, FDA has approved of only 2 vaccines, AstraZeneca and Sputnik. COVAX has indicated to us that all our deliveries that were going to come after the first drop will be delayed until June, July, because India has banned exports.
That meant many people.
So there was nothing coming from there. The African Medicine Supply Platform, we had registered with them. The one they were allocating to us, Johnson & Johnson, had not been released, registered in Ghana, not even elsewhere in the world. And they couldn't give us nothing. The indication was until August. So we didn't have much options to swim around. We had to go for Sputnik. We invited the Deputy Ambassador of Russia to the President's office. He couldn't tell us any significant thing. I was directed to write to the Trade Minister in Russia, the Foreign Minister in Russia, all those who mattered in this issue. Our direct contact with RDIF yielded no results. So,
all right, so all too soon, we've come to the end of tonight's edition of Newsline. My name is Maura. I'll do a quick recap of the major stories. President Akufo-Addo reveals his government is empowering local scientists to manufacture vaccines in the country in the wake of global shortage of COVID-19 vaccines. And also in this bulletin, families of police officer and others shot dead by armed robbers on Monday demand justice as the Inspector General of Police commiserates with them. The IGP has also been meeting with the Bankers Association. All right, Newsline is brought to you by Delta Paper, the producers of Flora disposable tissue. My name is Moro Awudu. Remember, the news never sleeps. See you tomorrow. Have a good night.